Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to another country.
Okay, so I have finally actually looked up what I think is all of the achievements that I can get in India. And I made a little list of all the achievements, and then I went through them and decided which one I thought was actually the best one to get alongside The Sun Never Sets on the Empire. Should have done that earlier. I didn't. That was dumb of me. In addition, when I was looking, I was playing as Coat, and what I did not realize playing as Coat is that it's actually very silly to play as Coat when I would rather play as Candy because Candy has a better like achievement thing because it turns out that Candy also has a different achievement that's available as well for having the majority share in cotton. Now, the majority share in cotton achievement kind of sounds like a world conquest style achievement, but if you do it early enough, you can probably do it without getting too far outside of India because I think that India has a lot of the cotton in the world already. So as long as you get it before there's a huge amount of colonization elsewhere, you might be able to become the world controller of cotton just by conquering in India. So I would consider that to be potentially a local achievement. So I split those achievements into local versus like global achievements. There's actually only a couple of global achievements. I think Miwar, somewhere around here. No, it's Nagaur, I think. Nagaur has an achievement for conquering Germany. So you have to conquer all of Germany. And that is definitely a sort of global spanning achievement. But you can basically get that achievement without doing a huge amount of fighting internationally. You don't really have to deal with the colonizers because, I mean, it's Germany, so you shouldn't have to deal with that. And so you can kind of wait until later in the game to handle that and then start eating people with imperialism if you really wanted to after consolidating. So that is a global achievement to be sure, and it's a hard achievement. Don't get me wrong. I think that it would be a very difficult achievement to get, but I don't know that it's the optimal thing to pair with Sun Never Sets from a perspective of the Sun Never Sets achievement. I feel like is more biased toward getting things that are legitimately world conquest style because it requires territory all over the world. And anyway, so the Sun Never Sets achievement is actually one of the lesser global achievements because you just have to lock down India and then a few specific provinces. Anyway, that being said, the achievement that I think pairs best with doing both the Sun Never Sets achievement as well as the other one is the Orissa achievement, and the Orissa achievement requires that you control every single province with wood, I think. Let's see, where are you at? Sun Never Sets. And it's going to be around here somewhere. I just need to figure out where it is. I need to actually get some of these achievements, like these easy achievements, I need to just get done. Because like I could have this already and then I wouldn't have to look at it on the list. Though I would prefer if the game allowed you to see what achievements you are making progress toward that you don't have. Where is the Orissa achievement? I don't remember what it was called. This is weird. Charter company from an Indian nation. I am Indian. Where did the achievement go? I remember what it's called. Oh, it's foremost servitor of Jagannath. I just skipped over it. So, start as Orissa and own or have a subject own all tropical wood provinces. Now, it says start as Orissa. Now, this is important. You can actually form other nations. You don't have to be Orissa when you have all of the tropical wood provinces. You can form Bharat first. So, tropical wood is something that you're going to have to conquer basically the whole world to accomplish this. So you might as well do the Bharat thing as well. In addition, this nation also has some nice things to play with. How big is Jaipur? 20,000 troops personally. I don't think I want to set them as my rival. So what my goal is at the beginning here is, so there's a few different missions here that are going to be kind of interesting as Orissa. So the first one is prepare for conquest. This is going to give me all the permanent claims that I need for the immediate future. That's really great. I'm not going to be needing it immediately though. The next one is rule the Garjats, which, as far as I can tell, this makes it so that the nation of Garjat basically consolidates in all of the other Garjati provinces that I have. So from a practical perspective, not super important, but basically what it allows me to do is if I can diplo-vassalize like Kalahandi, or just like annex and then release one of these nations like Kalahandi or whoever else, then I can have Garjat inherit them all. So that's something to consider. And I think that I'm probably going to want to do that. And I'm probably going to want to do that reasonably quickly. Question mark. Yeah, so I'm probably going to want to do that with Kalahandi or something. And then I'm going to want to conquer Patna or something. It's hard to say. At any rate, basically what that requires is it just requires that I keep all of these below 50% and call it a day. I don't need any Diplo relation slots to be spent on anything other than just improving the relations with my vassals right now. So what I can do is I can just set this to have two things pumping my own subject countries. And then I can have someone free to just do all the things that need to be done. Now then, am I going to be able to offer you vassalization anytime soon? I don't think so. I don't have actually a lot of development right now. So we're not going to be able to diplo-vassalize for quite a while. We have some other stuff that needs to happen first. Who are we declaring war on off the bat? I think we're declaring war on Bengal off the bat. So we are going to... do I have to be at war? Or sorry, do I have to be at peace to do this? I do not. So that's good to know. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get this moving. So we're going to get the Diplo support. Do we have any provinces we can give to the Vaishyas? We do not. Every single province is owned by a thinger. So what that means is that the maximum I'm going to get right this second is 100. And that's fine. So we're going to promote the Rajput nobility, and we can demand military support right now if we want. And do I want to do that? I think I might actually. It's tempting to try and get their influence up a little bit first, but I don't think it's worth it. So we're going to seek Brahmin approval, and we're going to recruit a minister, and then we're going to take the admin. Now, here's a question. Right now, we have 100%. I don't think it matters, actually, now that I think about it. We have Conqueror, which we're not going to be utilizing very much at the beginning, unfortunately. And we have a leader who is also a general. So unfortunately, he's going to have a lower lifespan as a result. But that's okay. So we need to build 2 units. Do I want to build them before or after? I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and build these 2 right now. And we can declare the war, and then we can still finish this after we have declared war. And then we'll get the bonus to morale, which is very useful, as well as have the ability to complete this once we've gotten the final vassal that we need. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here as a start is it's tempting to try to expand at the beginning of the game, but I don't think I actually want to try to expand in the beginning. I think we're going to focus on Diplo power, question mark. Do I want to focus on admin because I have lower admin? I think I'm going to be going for exploration first. Again, I think that exploration first makes a lot of sense. It's going to give me claims on overseas colonial regions. The alternative that I could do, if I wanted, but the problem with this is, give me a second to see if. So they don't even know who I am, so they're not going to give me any maps. So I would need to ally one of these nations in order to get them to do it. But if I could get an ally over here, then I could. The issue is that I'm not going to be able to get an ally. I think exploration is the way to go. I need to get to the Cape of New Hope as soon as I can, and exploration is the way to accomplish that. And in addition, that'll allow me to get a probably better opening overall. All right, so what does that mean for us? We unfortunately have to recruit an admiral in order to complete that first mission, and that first mission is very strong. So we definitely want to complete that first mission. Yeah, we're going to wait on this for a little bit. It's fine. How are we doing with this? Do we want to set a priority? Yes. We're going to set Diplo as our focus, because it's tempting to do a focus of admin, and if we didn't have such a good ruler, it would be worthwhile to consider, but we have such a good ruler that we don't have any, and we have probably multiple wars that we're going to be doing that will give us a lot of stuff. So we're fine. So Bengal is being set as a rival. Andhra is going to be set as a rival, and the Bamanis are being set as a rival. Now, the key to this combination is that Bamanis and Vijayanagar are going to be at war at some point. And once they are at war, I have the ability to declare war on Andhra, and either Vijayanagar will join them or will not. If they do not join them, then I just come in, wipe Andhra quickly, call it a day, get a bunch of power projection. It's great. If Vijayanagar does come in, then it's even better. Because if Vijayanagar is in a position where they're fighting Bamanis and me at the same time, then I can come in, sort of wipe out Andhra, and then go into Vijayanagar and potentially get them to pay me 25 war scores worth of ducats. Because of the fact that they have a bad economy, in the sense that they have a good economy, but in the beginning of the game, they always overextend. They're always going over their limit in terms of what they can actually afford to do. I think it makes a large amount of sense for me to handle this way. So, do we want to add a leader yet? I think we might as well. I don't think there's any reason to hold off on this. And that's a really good leader. Okay, so you guys are going to protect trade in Bengal for right now. We need to actually move one of our traders. This person, we have 2% trade here. How much are we collecting? Nothing? Are we collecting nothing? We are collecting 0 ducats. So I don't know why. This is something that, is very confusing to me. I do not know why the baseline places that you have your merchants at the very start of the game are always terrible. They're just, actively bad, and I don't know why. For whatever reason, they always make them bad. So improved relations is not something that I need right now, but I'll need it eventually. For now, I don't need it because I'm not going to worry about too much. But basically, at the start of the game, typically nations don't have an ally before December 11th, which is the actual start point. If they don't have an ally, so if Bengal doesn't have an ally by that point, then I can basically just declare a power projection war. I have a dramatically superior force at my disposal at the immediate time. Okay, it's now the 11th. They are guaranteeing the independence of Tirhut, which is not what they need to be doing, because we are going to declare a humiliate rival, Casus Belli, and we are going to dive in on them. We have a very solid general here, and we forgot to do one very important thing, which is this fleet was supposed to come over here and do the thing. They do not have a leader on this army, and they don't seem to be... Oh, they have a leader now. He's a 2-2, so not terrible. And there we go. We just got a bunch of war score, and we have wiped out their first army. In addition, because we have an admiral here, at least I think it's because of the admiral. It could just be that they're really dumb. But for whatever reason, they are willing to let me just get away with this. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to set all of our subjects to supportive. And we are going to leave our ruler here. And we're going to make this unit attachable. And we're going to not attach on this unit. It'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? So this fleet is actually in here, which is not a great place for them to be for me. So I might actually want to move this fleet out later on. So let's take a look at this. We can now complete this mission, so we're going to go ahead and do that. That gives us a nice bonus to the morale of our armies. And we can now get all these claims as well. We're not going to be using these claims immediately. There's no reason for us to try and use these claims immediately. What we're going to be doing is basically moving these guys out here. And how many troops do you have now? They have... I don't know why this fleet is not attacking me, by the way. They have a way worse fleet. Or say they have a way better fleet. Let's see. There it is. So they have 10,000... Looks like they have 12,000 total troops. So I have, just with this, like, little bitty navy, or bitty army over here, quite a few. Unfortunately, we are spending a lot of money right now. Most of that is just army maintenance, but we should be able... Actually, I'm going to move these guys to... Oh, never mind, I can't. It's not actually adjacent. So these guys were standing in the worst possible location just now. Either way, we shouldn't have any difficulty punching through the Bengal army here. And this will allow us to also burn some time while we wait for Andhra to have their ally in a war. So this is at 7% now. And I think what I want to do is I want to wait for the siege to tick over. Okay, defenders desert. But I really wish that there was a lag there. I don't only play the first 15 years, but basically I'm in the process of trying to work out a opening strategy for doing the so basically for doing like a world conquest in India. And when I'm trying to work out an opening strategy, I generally speaking am going to be restarting quite a lot to figure out, first of all, what I want as my optimal opener, as well as try to figure out who I even want to play as. Now, most of the time, an achievement will actually be sort of limited to a specific nation. So at that point, it's very easy and simple. But in this particular case, I actually started a Vijayanagar game, and I'm at about the year 1610-ish, maybe, in that one. And so I've gotten to the point where you're transitioning out of the age of, into the age of absolution. Absolutism, not absolution. There is no forgiveness, only me. But, oops, that's not what I wanted. The but I want to do a video on that, which means that I'm going to need to spend some time doing like a flat out recording and not be live for that. I didn't want to do that right now because it was raining, but it seems to have stopped raining actually. So we will arrive in Balasore in 6th. They will arrive on the 5th, so that's not great. It's fine though. Let's see. We can move these guys to Gouda if we want, and have these guys just follow. We have a dramatically superior leader, but they do have all those Carracks, so we don't really want to get into a pissing contest with a bunch of Carracks, even if we do have the superior fleet overall, because they're going to start blowing up our stuff. No, I don't actually have any whatchamacallits. I don't have any allies. So basically, Orissa at the start starts out with 4 vassals, and one of their missions is actually to consolidate all of those vassals into one vassal, and doing that's going to require that I get another vassal at some point. So we'll probably get Kalahandi. What we're actually going to do here, because this is much more sensible. Where's my stuff? I'm going to set all of these as provinces of interest. I don't mind expanding a little bit to pump up my vassals, but let's see. Do we want to just pull back now? We actually are going to blow up a ship probably tomorrow, so maybe not. I wish that you could organize this by what ships are the most injured, because that would make my life a lot more convenient. So they just lost a ship, and we are about to lose a ship. So we are actually going to retreat out of this. We took out 2 ships there, which isn't too bad, considering that they are sitting on multiple Carracks and we have none. But it looks like they're going to just sit out there, which means that we're going to be able to repair these ships. And when we repair these ships, we should be able to just go back out there and beat them up a little bit more and just keep doing that over and over again. So we're going to keep this army together because I don't want to try to mess with their whole army alone. So this is 9,000 troops. I don't really want to get another leader, so let's see. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Luckily, we do have that going pretty well for us, and we're all set. Let's see. So yeah, once I get a new vassal, all of the vassals with the Garjati culture will be merged into Garjat. So basically, Garjat will inherit all of the other ones. You do not annex them. I was very confused by it at first. I was like, what on earth does this mission even do? But what it looks like it does is it consolidates any vassals that you have of Garjati culture into Garjat. Now, interestingly enough, you do not need your other vassal to be Garjati. You do not need them to be of that culture. So one thing that I could do if I want... Where's Bastar? I don't know what Bastar is. Okay, Bastar is actually this tiny place here. So one thing that I could do is I could actually fabricate claims on both of these guys, and I think I'm going to probably want to do that. Yeah. I'm going to want to build a spy network over here and get claims on these guys. It's not a huge deal, but it's something that I'm going to want to do eventually. And they're right next to me, so it's very quick to get my person back. Looks like these guys are now going back the other direction. These guys are actually coming out here. Do I want to leave one of my barks behind and attack? When will you arrive? The 2nd of February. I actually have like a full month to just wait here before this even becomes a problem. They have... It's 2nd of January, February, right? All right, so what I can do is I can just leave this bark here, and then I have slightly fewer units. I just have 14, but they still don't actually have an admiral, and I might be able to destroy some of their ships before things go badly for me. I'm rolling a lot of zeros, which is not great, but they're also rolling low, so... The hope here is basically that I take out at least one transport. Because if I can take out one of their transports, then I can start wiping out their armies. Unfortunately, I cannot roll higher than a 1. This is not optimal here. So they rolled a 0, we rolled a 3, and they rolled a 7 here. Oh, did I just lose a ship? Oops. Was not paying enough attention. So it looks to me like, yeah, I'm about to lose one of my barks. And they aren't losing anything because I cannot roll higher than a 1. The highest I rolled there was a 3. That's pretty freaking intense. Let's see. Do I want... This is only 9,000 troops. So since that's only 9,000 troops, what I should have done, instead of getting into a pissing contest with their fleet, is I should have just pulled these guys over here and walk them over here. So this is the 21st of February that they're going to arrive here. So we're not going to be able to get them while they're on the thing, but we do have twice as many troops as them. And can we arrive? We are going to arrive on the same day, so probably not. Okay. So how are your ships doing now? Also, how were their ships repaired? Now that I think about it, all of their ships were at full capacity, even though they've been sitting out here the whole time. Does the AI cheat with ship repairs? Is that a thing? So we're just going to pull ourselves back over here. It's no problem. It might be. I don't know if it's possible. I think Bengal has... I think Bengal is pretty much the only nation that has anything over here. I don't need to release a country over here, though. This Bishnapur here, if I just make them a vassal, then that's the rough equivalent. I already have the claims here. The aggressive expansion isn't as huge a deal in this region because you're going to have a lot of different places to expand, especially because I'm planning on expanding in Africa as well. And let's see here. I still can't believe that I rolled nothing higher than a frickin' 1. Or sorry, I rolled nothing higher than a 3 in like 10 instances. That was crazy. But yeah, this is a not a conquest war. This war is a power projection war. We're just going in to show strength, and a show strength war is very useful. These guys are now going to Kutak, and they will arrive in September. So since they're going to arrive in September, and the AI is very unlikely to actually change their mind, the AI never like cancels the movement really. Can we get... I don't think we can get there, actually. We can't get there before they arrive. We might be able to get there before they leave. We're definitely going to get there before they leave. And do we want... This is going to be... We outnumber them 2-1. I think that considering that... Oh, they did get the crossing penalty. Oh. Oh, I don't know how they got the crossing penalty, but they got the crossing penalty, which means that we just wiped out that army. Cool. Let's see. I could have gone for conquest right away, but I don't think going for conquest right away is worth it. Because if you go for conquest right away, you're crippling your monarch point economy in the very beginning of the game. Generally speaking, before I do any meaningful conquest, if I'm not in Europe, I always want to have gotten the first 2 admin techs and oftentimes a little bit more than that in terms of like, I want the 2 admin techs and I want some diplotech. I think that doing power projection very early, just doing the show strength, gives you a massive, massive advantage in the early game because you're already going to have a tech advantage over everyone in your region. That's just kind of a given when you're playing as a player because of the fact that you're going to do stuff that the AI does not do. Namely, when you are playing as a player, you're going to actually do stuff with your estates to give yourself more stuff, and they simply don't do that. They don't do the estate management very well. So we're going to go ahead and pop over here. These guys could dive here if I wanted. This army is a 2-2. This is grassland. Is there a crossing penalty? No. So I think we're just going to dive them? Question mark. Do we want to dive them? Do I have any reason to dive them here? Not really. I'm basically looking for cheap and easy war score at this point. So since I'm looking for cheap and easy war score, I don't think that the right solution is to... these guys are going to arrive on... Yeah, we're going to arrive way later. Yes, I'm playing on normal. I don't play on the higher difficulties, really. I don't really see much of a point. I know that people do it a lot in the... whatchamacallit? In these kinds of games, and people do it in Civ a lot as well. But I don't find, like, in games that are, like, strategy games like this, I don't find it terribly interesting to be, like, basically working on different rules than the AI is any more than is absolutely necessary. Because I know that the AI is always going to have a slightly different rule set, and it's going to cheat both in ways that benefit you as the player, and it's going to cheat in ways that go directly against your interests as the player. Those are both going to be a part of the rule set differences for the AI. But doing things like, okay, well now everyone just arbitrarily hates you a little bit, and because you have like a penalty automatically to all of your whatchamacallit, your interactions with people, and the AI is more likely to specifically target you in a very gamey fashion. That kind of stuff, that doesn't sound interesting to me, honestly. It's not the kind of thing that interests me. So I might at some point decide to play on that kind of a run, but it doesn't necessarily improve the aspects of the game that I find the most interesting. And it also doesn't actually improve the things that the AI is weakest at. So we've gotten our show strength done. I would love an AI based, like the AI is actually playing smarter, or the AI is being more gamey. So like if the AI started behaving less like a nation and more like a player, if you turned up the difficulty, that I'd be fine with. I like that. That's fine. But when it is instead more of like, okay, well the AI is just going to despise the player for no apparent reason. I would like actually like a more hardcore version where aggressive expansion penalties and things like that are just worse globally, where like it's harder to expand because the AI is behaving more aggressively to prevent people from expanding. There's a lot of interesting things you could potentially do with that kind of a tinkering, but that's not... that's not, unfortunately, what it's doing there. All right, so we have a mid-size army. Let's take a look at how you are doing. They have 10,000 manpower still, so they're actually doing quite well against the Bamanis. They haven't really lost any troops. They have not lost much of anything. So who was my third rival? My third rival is the Bamanis. So the question is, do I declare war on you. Who's Vinod? The question is whether I jump on the Bamanis for the easy, quick victory, or whether I want to instead... Why am I losing so much money anyway? It seems to me that I have a much larger army than I can legitimately afford. I guess I have a lot of force limit just from the fact that these guys are pretty big. That's fine. So you are doing fine, right? Do you even have any loans? They don't even have any loans. So that calls into question this strategy considerably. I don't know how difficult a time they're going to have just pushing off the other folks and then pushing me off as well. So with that being the case, where's Vinod? Vinod is down here, right? Yes, Vinod's all the way down there. So Vinod actually can't conveniently reach me. Which means I don't really have to worry about them. So I think we actually will want to just do a show strength on the Bamanis, because it should be very easy. Let's take a look at their army. They have all mercs, and they have 14,000 of them. So all we need to do is get... We don't even need to get... Thinger, now that I think about it. We don't even need... Oh, we can't get through here easily, though, unfortunately. It's fine. I think we're going to have a bigger army than them by the time this goes. I should have actually checked what that said about BG. Okay, so we have... I only have a Cassius Belli against 3 of their dice. I don't have their capital. Huh. Are we ready for this? We don't have Thinger yet, but we don't need it because we're not planning on actually getting into a pissing contest. So are we ready for taking their capital? I think we are. So we're going to just do this. Unfortunately, this does mean that we're going to have to go through their vassal, which is not stellar. That's okay, though. So once we get here, we can observe how things are going to go. I'm going to actually detach siege. What do I want to do? These guys, I don't want to be suffering the attrition myself. I'm going to leave behind 6,000 troops while I walk away, and that will allow these guys to decide to come to me once they're to me. The most dangerous part of this whole thing is this initial transition, because while this army is walking away, if it's locked out, then I can't just bring it back conveniently. So I'm going to leave these guys here until these guys arrive. How are we doing with regards to our vassals? No. This army should not be attachable. That was the problem. Okay, so we're going to leave one more. We're going to leave 2 more dudes behind. Pop out of here. We want to minimize the amount of this stuff that we're losing as we go. Let's also take a look, and we don't have basically any worries there. We're all set. We have 99%. And how are we doing here? We got 16,000 troops. We are not going to allow them to be attached, so we're just going to let everybody start moving over to here, and it'll all be good. We've now got over 50 power projection, which is giving us another +1 per month. That's another 12 per year. And we are set. Okay, so we're going to be able to get 6 innovativeness right off the bat here. I don't think there's a chance that anybody else is going to finish first. We have a really good ruler, and we also did the estate thing at the beginning. It would be very strange if, okay, maybe not if I forget to do this. It would be very strange to me with me getting as much as I am getting per turn, as well as having over 50 power per, or well, as well as like all the other bonuses that I'm getting, if I did not get what I'm looking for here. So these guys keep sending ships up here for no apparent reason. Like, I don't understand what the point of doing that is. We can now invest in this. We can build temples, Yahoo, and we're going to have Pike Square soon. And we're going to have Pike Square in time for our first actual battles. What that'll also allow us to do is, I'm thinking that we're probably, at some point, these guys are going to, oh shit, do I want to, yeah, I don't, I can't afford to spend that money right now. So we're basically going to be going through, showing strength on all of these folks. Oh, look, they have another fleet that just randomly showed up that's going to get probably wiped out. Or not, they're just going to wander away. Oh, there we go. We got Pike Square, and we got the innovativeness from that. So we've now got +6 innovativeness. Yahoo! This is so much nicer than playing as the Buddhists downstairs, where you can't do any freaking show strength on anyone because you have literally no valid rivals at the start of the game. So, we've got that done. We're going to do show strength here, and we might actually get first in the world for the second set of ideas as well, but probably not. I mean, I could see it happening, but I don't anticipate it happening. So these guys are going to go to here and siege down this province. You guys are going to just pop over here. Andra is... Oh, they're not actually in this war. That's good to know. So the hope here is that... that's not good. What is your supply limit, friend? I was not anticipating that the supply limit here would be too small. That is a tiny supply limit. Oh my god. Okay, never mind then. We're going to get you the hell out of here. So it looks like the Bamanis are just sort of getting pretty much swept here, but it's important to recognize that while they are getting kind of brutalized over on the other side of the world, they are, well, the other side of the thing. Early age bonus. I do not know what you mean by the early age bonus. Oh, you're talking about getting these? Yeah, I actually don't typically utilize war taxes very much. Honestly. It's something that I don't typically find that I have a huge amount of reason to care as much about my money as I do the other things. So, like, I don't even get war taxes early usually. I usually get other stuff earlier than war taxes. And that's probably suboptimal, because the war taxes does give a huge increase to money, and money is very useful, especially early in the game, but my degree of optimization is not super high. It's certainly existent, but it's not super high. Did I seriously lose a ship in that? No. I think they lost the ship and I captured it, and then it turned around and got taken out by them as well. Do I want to just go after these guys? Oh, I'm an idiot. I should have I should have realized this. I don't need a leader in this army because obviously it is not preferable to attack without a leader. We're going to wait to see if this ticks. Okay, this did not tick, so we're just going to dive. Whatchamacallit? Oh, I forgot that we had Pike Square. So since we have Pike Square, we basically should obliterate any army that we run into that's even remotely an even fight. Where are you going? So we do not have access to the place that they have access to. Are they at war with them or something? Okay, they didn't have access to it either, so they just got a free pass on getting their army annihilated for no apparent reason. Let's see. Yeah, the humiliation is something that sometimes I'll do that later on, and I will try to get a humiliate down if I'm in a war with my rivals, like later on. But at its core, right here at the beginning, when I'm trying to get when I'm trying to basically get Renaissance popped, and I'm trying to meet some of my core objectives in terms of timing. So, like, as an example, one of my core objectives here is to take complete control of southern Africa before the Europeans have a chance to show up. Because if you take complete control of southern Africa before the Europeans show up, you never have to worry about the Europeans anywhere in all of India. They're never going to show up, because the only way for them to get to you is to actually go around South America, and they're very slow to get around South America. Going around South America takes forever. So that's something that happens very slowly, and it's not a major concern. Let's see here. So anyway, so I like to basically, the strat that I'm going with right now is a very aggressive colonialization strategy, where you try to get sufficient control in the Americas early enough in the game that you can basically prevent the colonizers from becoming relevant. Because if you get your colonial nations big enough, they can basically just fight the colonial nations of the Europeans and wipe them out. So if you can kind of just wipe out the European colonial nations, then all of Europe just becomes a really easy, like, group of, like, critters over there, where they aren't actually securing any wealth for Europe, because you control Africa, which means no trade is coming around Africa to Europe. And that cripples the economy in one direction. And then if you also take control of the Americas, what you end up with is all of a sudden there's no money coming into Europe from there either. So it's an interesting choice. When I've played as Malacca, I haven't actually done a rush to South Africa. I've always gone the other direction. And after having played as India, where I was obviously going to go the Africa angle because going the other way is just insanity, I'm now realizing that I definitely should have, as Malacca, colonized West and not colonized East. Because colonizing West is a much better way to handle it. It has a much larger effect on the late game. What I found was, and this is interesting actually, is that playing as India, I actually felt like I was playing a different game with a legitimately different history, because even when I wasn't directly facing off with the Europeans, like, I wasn't really going after them directly, but even with me not going after the colonizers directly, I was crippling their economy so much by going after the African provinces, taking control of Mexico, things like that, where all of a sudden they don't have all that money that they're stealing from everyone else. And when Europe can't steal all of the money from all of the world, it turns out that it really weakens the entire continent. And then all of a sudden Europe is just like, oh, okay, Europe is this little like place full of, moderately large nations, but they're not really that crazy. Whereas normally the European nations get really crazy because they have so much money. There's so much money that's just flooding into Europe by the midpoint in the game. Unfortunately, Vigianega does not have any rebels yet, which is too bad because I was hoping that I would get some rebel spawns there that I could exploit to do another power projection onto Andhra. It looks like it's not going to take a huge amount for them to not want to help Andhra in that war. But it's fine. I don't know where their army is, so I shouldn't be this spread out, actually. I guess they're probably not going to be coming in too close to me anyway. Their army is a total between the two nations. They have 19,000 troops. They are not rank 4 yet, are they? They are rank 4. So since they also have Pike Square, I should actually pull back a bit. Because I don't want to be fighting anything remotely similar to an even fight right now. How is it that we only have 50%? Ah, yes, because... nope, they don't have their ally. It looks like their ally got annexed. So it's just me and their... Why do I only have 56% war score? Do I have their capital? I have their capital even. Like, it's not like the... Oh, this is occupied by Khandesh. Oh, wow. Interesting. This is occupied by Gujarat. Wait. Vijayanagara! You didn't actually... Wait, what? Oh! I see what's happening. I see what's happening here. Okay, so it looks like I completely missed... I thought this was a weird-looking color. I'm like, that doesn't look like the color it usually is, does it? I'm like, oh, but it has to be, right? It's like, no, it turns out that they're not even at war with each other. So they're at 60%. I don't think they'll give me a show strength at this point. Like, I'm still way too low. If you have more than, like, 20% difference between what you're able to get, or what you have in war score, and what they have in the cost you're demanding, it's almost impossible to get it to actually go. I am surprised that I don't have more war score, though. This is legitimately surprising. Like, what do I need to do to get more war score against you? Because I've got your capital, I've got 2 of your forts. I mean, I'm sure you have more forts, but you're basically completely carpet sieged at this point. And how many other forts do they have? Wait, Gujarat is my ally, right? No, Gujarat, not Gujarat. Totally different country. I don't know how I got them confused. Clearly, I'm just not good at this. So let's see here. They have a fort here. Do they get an automatic... I think when they turn the fort over, it automatically gets a... a garrison. Why did I send it? Oh, right, I sent it back because of the thing. And let's see here. Where is their army? This is unfortunate. we have to grant aid. We don't want to lose the admin power right now. So we're going further into debt. Yay, debt. That is a lot of debt. We have to take out 2 loans for that? That's a little ridiculous. So, how are you doing? They're sitting on a huge amount of war exhaustion. Meanwhile, Vijayanagara is at war with Kot and Kandy. Okay, good. So this is pieced out now, which means that I can actually start accumulating war score again. So I'm going to move you here. And can I get you here? No, I cannot. These guys might not actually be able to move. Yeah, these guys can't move at all, probably. Lovely. So let's see here. Yeah, they get a full garrison, which I think is actually bullshit. I don't really see any reason why they should get a full garrison just because the other people pieced out with them. It's more than slightly ridiculous. So these are jungle tiles. So we've got 68% war score now. We're still nowhere near where we need to be. And our entire army is actually locked in and can't move, which really sucks. So the Bamanis have a pretty large army, and it's actually a problematic army in certain ways. Namely, that my army can't really move around at all, and is at serious risk of... I should have been paying more attention to the zones of control when I moved my troops in. I might have to get access through Vijayanagara. Wait, Telangana is... Oh. That's cool. I didn't realize that they were... they must have been released by the other nation. So what this means is that I kind of have to consolidate my army a bit, which means that I have to suffer some more attrition. But it looks like, unless there is a major change, I'm probably not going to be able to do what I want to do. Because what I want to do move these guys over here. There. So they're now all moving away from me, so the important thing is just making sure that I'm getting myself in a position that's useful. They're sieging down their capital, and we can now... We can't move these guys here. Can't move them here either. Okay. Yeah. The way that the fort system works with multiple nations involved in these wars is just completely like messed up. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why on earth would this fort just magically get a bunch of soldiers in it just because the other nation had it occupied? Like, where are those magic soldiers coming from? I think that it should start at 0 and tick back up because you didn't have a garrison there. Let's see here. It's functionally very similar to when you have a mothballed fort. In terms of like the way that it should behave is similar to the mothballing situation. The way it actually behaves is dumb. Basically. Do we want to dive their army. Oh shit, who's gonna arrive first? We're gonna arrive on the 7th, they're gonna arrive on the 9th. Okay, I'm willing to do this. Because they have a smaller army, so. Do we want to just dive? We have about 30,000 troops. If we dive here, we run the risk of losing a bunch of troops for very little gain. But I actually think it's worth it. So we're going to wait for this to tick, and then we're going to dive. I want to wait for this to tick, because I want to give this army here... Oh, actually... that's a lot of problems. Okay, I can't arrive before the tick of the next month anyway, so... Mistakes were made, that was dumb of me, and we're going to lose a bunch of troops from it. Once this ticks, we will set the leader to be the awesome sauce leader of doom. Is there a leader? There is a leader, so there's a 2-fire leader with no other stats. We're going to arrive on the 25th of June here. Oh, and great, they just had a disease outbreak, so that's super useful for us. And we're going to significantly outnumber them, as well as having a pretty major advantage everywhere else. So why on earth were we having so much trouble with this fight, actually? That's very strange. The way these battles go is sometimes very odd. It's like all the numbers are in your favor, and then it's like, oh yeah, all the numbers are in your favor, except you rolled shittily, so sucks to be you, fam. We are going to send you over here, because I figure these guys have to be going over here somewhere. I'm going to send you to Nander. I'm surprised. How many troops did we lose? We lost 4,000 troops. Okay, so that means that we're probably just going to not declare any new wars. Certainly not on anyone other than just Andhra on its own for a while. How close are you? They have 4 war exhaustion, so... We are going to catch these guys. And the only issue with this is that there is the risk of making the life too easy for Vijayanagad, which we do not want to do because they are our primary rival here. But we have show strength. We have maxed out. We haven't actually maxed out. We have gotten quite a lot of power projection. And now we can look at what we want to do. In 2 years, we can get all of these done, which will be good. And once we have all of those, we actually don't even need to get basic financial instruments necessarily, but now we need to look at some of our other stuff. Do we have claims over here now? We have a claim on Bastar. I forgot to actually get the claim over here because I'm a dummy. It's fine though. Okay, we're gonna do a quick little battle against these guys. Oh, Patna. Who's Patna? Patna's right here. Oh, that's useful. So we actually have Kalahandi claims on all of these. That's interesting. So Kalahandi, if I could get them vassalized, would actually make a huge difference for me. I think I'm going to start improving my relations with them rather than do this. So we're going to get Kalahandi, start pumping our relations with them. And how are we doing economically? Economically, we are doing shit. I should have consolidated these earlier, and I didn't because I'm a dummy, so I just wasted a bunch of money. And we are going to reduce our thinger. We're going to drop our army maintenance down, and we can... Kionchar is who? Done. Okay. So in 2 years, we'll be able to get national ideas and get, I think, all of these ideas within 2 years. yeah. Within 2 years, we'll be able to get both of those. We'll have enough. And that will be pretty useful. We actually do not even have the tech penalties starting to accrue. This is actually getting... If we did this right now, we would get innovativeness for the cost of an extra, like, what, 60? About the cost of 60 Diplo power. Do we want to get basic financial instruments right now? I don't think I need to. I think I can wait a year and still get the innovativeness. I'm not 100% positive, but I have a grotesquely large amount of income right now. I think that if I wait until next January, I'll still be able to do it. So we're going to just wait, and we'll get it next January. And we have positive income. Oh my goodness. Look at that. We got the income going up. Look at that. We got a lot of space to expand, actually. We have Kalahandi with things. What is this? G4. G4 does not have a thing there. And Kalahandi is Garjati. So yeah, we definitely are going to want to do that. I think I'll have enough. Will I have enough? I might not actually have enough to do this the second that it takes over. Which is too bad, but that's fine. Oh god. Ugh, I don't like either of these very much, actually. It's fine though. I think I'll take the I'll take the rep hit for now. I can convert that in with military power. It's a much bigger hit, but it's also something that I can ignore more easily. I can't really ignore a hit to my stability in the same way I can with legitimacy. So we have no troops getting added to anybody. That's fine. And our truce with you will be over in 10 years. It's a long truce. It's a very long truce. Let's see here. Andhra. So you are not at war with anybody right now. That's great. It's not. I'd prefer you to be at war with people, but it's fine, I guess. You are going to be willing to do this if I get enough of a army, basically. I just need to improve my stuff. And then once I do that, I guess the claims themselves will not be inherited, will they? So Garjat does have a claim on one of these provinces at least. So let's take a look at who we can declare war on. If we declare... Oh, I guess I can't. I can't while I'm still improving my relations. I'll wait for my relations to tap out with these guys and then I'll do it. So let's see here. We've got... Ooh, wow, that's... Oh, it is January. This will pump our innovativeness. So we get innovativeness there and there. So we're now sitting on 10.2 innovativeness, which is pretty dang good for this early in the game. In addition, we're now up so far ahead of the others in our area that it's going to take a long time for them to sort of catch up to where we are to get on our level. And we have 13 years in which we can just freely pump exploration, and that should work well. How are we doing over here? We need 2 more months. So fingers crossed that we managed to get the 2 innovativeness from this as well, because right now we're already getting a 1% reduction to all power costs, which is pretty dang good. Especially because we're about to be developing a ton. Interesting. Innovativeness pumped. Nice. I actually don't know how long it takes for the AI to catch up there. So, we're definitely going to get exploration ideas. Exploration ideas, I think, are the most useful for getting control of Africa immediately. I think if I wait, it might be a problem, so I'm not going to wait. Let's see, Bishnapur, we can get a vassal eventually, but we don't need them immediately. You guys are still not willing. It looks like that modifier is not actually based off of anything. So it's not based off of the power of your troops, that is. So what we can do is I have a conquest on them right now. Jarkand and Ratanpur. It's honestly tempting to just go in here and do a quick conquest. I think I'm going to actually. So we are going to fabricate on Bishnapur. Do I even want to? Oh, I guess I need to, because I need to add them to the list regardless. Regardless of which strategy I'm going to go with, I need to add them to the list. So this is such a tiny amount of development. And once this finishes, we can do our first sort of mini conquest of the game. We have a claim here, or we will have a claim here ourselves, and we'll have a claim on this as well. So we'll just take this, we'll give this to a random vassal. We're going to take control of this, and this vassal we might utilize to take some of the Bengal territory later, but probably not even, because now is the point where we need to start actually expanding our empire with admin power. So now is the time where we're going to be wanting to spend admin power on all the things. We have a considerable amount of time before we need to purge the tech penalty. Though, admittedly, we could try to rush it if we wanted. We have the option to rush that and do it earlier rather than later. The disadvantage of that is that you can generally get more bonuses later. So there's somebody else who's fighting over this. So these guys are fighting. Andra is at war with these guys. Vishyanagat is just chilling. I'm curious about the fact that they're friendly to me. I guess that makes a degree of sense. The dynamic with Andhra and Vijayanagar is actually really interesting because of the fact that Vijayanagar has their core provinces. Andhra will never allow them to diplo-vassalize them. And that leads to interesting results. I think I need to put my money back up, fortunately. Because we need to get our troops back in order. So we have about 500 casualties to get. Okay, we can invest in the first exploration idea, get our another point of innovativeness. And we are going to have innovativeness for days. So unfortunately I don't have this explored. None of this stuff is actually explored right now. So, but I don't think I can actually reach any of these places. Maybe I could reach here right now. Possibly. I don't think so, though. So we're going to wait until I've gotten... Oh, that's interesting. So they've fully annexed down here. I'm going to need to start expanding south pretty rapidly if I'm going to be making the times that I want to be making. So we can pull you back. Okay, conquest against these two. So here's the question. If I declare war for my claims, then I can't pull Patna in usefully because my vassals are the ones that have claims on that. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to move these guys over here, and we are going to declare on Bishnapur, and declaring on Bishnapur will pull Bastar in. Bastar, we're just going to have, like, give us shit. I don't think we're going to actually take their... Yeah, we're not going to take their provinces. It's not worth it. And... put these guys back in. Nobody here has a fleet, but there was no reason for me to have the peeps running around like crazy like that. Alright, we are not going to set Bastar as a co-belligerent because we're not planning on taking that province. We just want to get our 5th vassal here so that we can get Garjat to consolidate all of this territory. And we're going to get that 5th vassal by actually taking these guys as a vassal directly. So, that's not what I want to actually dupe. So now we're going to send the rest of the army down here and say, no, you can't actually attach to this, so piss off. So the only option they have for attaching is attaching to that army over there. And so they will supply the siege, which means that I don't have a bunch of attrition to deal with. This should be a pretty easy war. And if I can wipe out their army and then carpet siege them, I think I might be able to get them to peace out with me. Is this a good idea? No, it's not. I don't want to do it. So we're going to, is it? No. No, they have a pretty large amount of thinger. This jungle. Maybe I don't actually want to be here at all. Okay, we're actually going to pull out. I don't have a siege general, so we're just going to sit in the grasslands over here. And these guys are going to do whatever they're going to do. But most likely what they're going to do is just sit here doing nothing. And we can actually, if we want, this might be an option. Let's see how this influences our vassals. It looks like most of them are just going to stay here. So these guys are going to attach, which means that we can now do this. They have 6,000 troops over there, and we only have 4. But, oops, I didn't mean to actually lock that in. It's fine, though. I think I should be able to... I'm going to just leave 2 infantry behind. Get out of here. So we now have 6k. They don't have a... Oh, they do now. That's a problem. These guys are going to lock in. We do have a general. They do not have a tech disadvantage. I should have left one more troop there. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about the problem with the danger when you do the transition over to your vassals is basically when you're doing the transition, they're going to be potentially attacking you while your army is walking the other direction and has no way of coming back. But that said, it worked okay. I think we mostly lost troops from our vassal. It seems to be the case. And these guys can now move over here to replace. Do I actually need to do anything? Because I might be able to just get a white piece now. I want to get a white piece with these guys if possible. I'm going to take control of this province first. Then we'll try to white piece them. If we can't, I guess it's not a very high war score victory, is it? Because we're just doing this. That's only 11 war score. Okay. It doesn't matter, we can't piece out. So I wanted to get the white piece just to, there we go. So now we can get the white piece, but we can actually get more than just a white piece. So what do we want to do? We have them pay us war reparations if we want. They're not actually going to do that. Okay, well, that's fine. So we are going to get a little bit of money from them, and you're going to get 3 ducats, and get a little bit of business going. So they are pieced out, and now we have 3 days before we can piece out the others. And by getting the white piece there, we also reduce the duration of our truce with them. So doing this should allow us... Everybody's very low. So if we do this, we should be able to basically piece out Vishnapur by taking control of their province, which is great. And then, once we've taken control of their province, we can then say, hey, so, you want to be a free nation? And then I have a mission to complete. Question mark? No. Oh, they have liberty desires. So we will go ahead and do placate local rulers just for the hell of it, just to get that finished. And then we have rule the Garjats, and we get that done. So we now get a permanent claim on the entire area. And charm and beauty are sometimes as effective as cannons. Yes, indeed. So we have a claim on this now. We have a claim on all of these now. So, and we have a claim here. And we still have this vassal here who's doing their business. So we now only have 2 vassals, yes? Good. So we have the Garjat vassal, which is doing fine. We have Bishnapur, who is pissed off at us because, of course, they are. And then we have... what next on our agenda? We have you to go after, Ratanpur. Do we have claims on you? Yes, we do. And you're also allied with who? Jharkhand. Jharkhand is where? Don't remember where Jharkhand is. I should remember these things better, but I don't. This is Jharkhand? Jharkhand I also have a claim on. So, Jharkhand... No, this is Kalahandi. No, this is... Okay, there we go. You are allied with Kalinjar, Ratanpur, and Kalahandi. Kalahandi... Ratanpur... So Chanda is added to the list if we declare... there. Basically, I'm just looking to see... They have their independence guaranteed by Bengal. Is Bengal willing to join? Yes. So I cannot set Jharkhand as a co-belligerent right now. So that would imply that I would want to attack someone who is not going to be allied with them. So Rewa... That is a tiny nation that's very far away. They're allied with only Patna. So if I declare war here, then I am at war with Bastar again. I already have a truce with Bastar, so it's not meaningfully going to change the dynamic with me and Bastar. It's basically SSDD. So, do we want to declare on Patna now and try to integrate them into our Garjat vassal here? Garjat, do you have 15 development? Because that's tremendously low. Yes, you have no development whatsoever. Okay, so that's good to know. They're a very tiny vassal. They look a lot bigger than they are, but they're 111 provinces pretty much exclusively. So I can basically expand into Patna now. I currently have 8 aggressive expansion here. Andhra is getting its ass kicked by Telangana. My concern here is that I'm going to lose access to Humiliate Rival eventually. But it's okay if I lose access to Humiliate Rival on them, honestly. We haven't outgrown any of our rivals, so we still have all of them ready. We have 3,000 manpower, and the best way to improve our economy right now to go for it. Do I want, though, to... I don't think there's any reason to wait. So we will wait for my troops to be ready, I think. Will we wait for them to be ready? Even that, I don't think there's any reason for. Patna, Bastar, and Rewa. Like, Bastar doesn't have an army, so we definitely don't want to wait on that. Yeah, okay. There's no reason to wait at all. Patna has how many troops? Patna has 6,000 total troops, and they have no pike square. So we're going to go ahead and just declare now. We are not going to set anybody as co-belligerent, because we can't set Bastar. So we're declaring this. We're going to pop straight to their capital. And we have the ability to walk in here and say, hey, remember us? We're back. So we have 1 troop here. We have looks like 2. Just gonna come in here. Unfortunately, they do have 2 troops now, which is that's like twice as many troops. Okay, you guys are set to be linkable, so I don't know what they're doing there. And we have... yes, okay, I understand. They inherited those other nations, but they did not keep their armies, as far as I can tell. Which is kind of weird. So, can we piece you out immediately again? We might be able to piece them out immediately when we take this. I think we can. We're gonna move. The reason we're setting these guys to move is just so that they don't try anything while we're piecing out here. So we've now pieced out. We've got another white piece. Oh, no. We've got another white piece with Bastar. I need to actually keep the troops there long enough to accomplish my objectives. And we should be able to fully annex these guys with no trouble. Again, they do not have a person. Do they have Pike Square now? No, they still don't have Pike Square, so we should be flanking them here. We don't have any cavalry, which isn't great. We're going to be trying to annex them, so I actually do want to just catch this army and prevent it from doing anything meaningful. So that army's wiped, and we are set. We have one troop chilling up here. We have more debt coming in, because of course we do. Because we are super poor. We're really punching way above our weight class with this nation. This is a very strange country. You start out looking like a reasonably okay-sized nation with a pretty major army. And then you realize, I can't afford this army. Why do I have such a massive army? I can't possibly afford this. And let's see. We have... let's see. What do I want to do for Bishnu? I'm just going to leave them how they are. So we're going to take control of all of these provinces. And once we've taken control of all these provinces, we have the option of either taking them for ourselves or taking them for our vassals. And honestly, while it's tempting to give it to Garjat, because I don't generally like to spend stuff this early in the game, I don't actually think I need to. Because right now, my economy is so trash. You know what? You know the best strategy to get my economy looking better? The best strategy for that is actually to just encourage development in my provinces and call it a day. I think it's time to actually start pumping my development. So we're going to encourage development here, and we're can I develop during warfare? Yes. So we're going to basically just start pumping our admin power. I did not check what the thing is, but it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter what the calculation is because I'm only doing 2 of these. So we're going to be not using any Diplo power for this. We're only going to be using admin power and military power. So we're going to be spending our admin power first. We're going to be prioritizing the expenditure of that. And then we will be using the other stuff later. So, you ready for this? Yes. So we can do 3 of those. Was I actually ready for that though? Probably not, because I forgot to actually do the other things. Let's do. Oh, I can recruit another general. Let's do that. Procure loan. Yay, war taxes for free. Kind of. So, we have a little bit of income here. Right. What I was looking for is there an estate that will give me... Yes, this is advisor costs, which is not what I need. Okay, so we're fine. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything that I'm going to do that's going to improve this. Can I improve this? I cannot, because this is the limit, so... As we start improving our base tax and our capital, we are going to be... I guess I could have waited until I finished this to get a little bit of extra reduction, but these are such tiny nations that we're not going to be getting meaningful amounts of reduction anyway. Also, I'm not planning on coring this. I'm planning on giving it to someone else. So never mind. It would have been fine either way. There's no utility in that. I'm just going to leave these guys here for now, and then we will go ahead and, I guess, make the peace offer. We'll have complete control of their stuff, so there should be... Looks like they are going to be weird about it. It looks like Bastar is going to get conquered by Ratanpur. I should have clicked on you. Ratanpur is the one that's trying to annex them. They might have called Chanda in with promise of territory out of it. In which case, we will be looking at the complete annexation of the entity that we have a truce with. And I like that, because that means I can get the same provinces without having to go through that truce. So Kalahandi, you have these allies. Ratanpur has Jharkhand as an ally. And Jharkhand has allied with Ratanpur, Kalahandi, and Kalanjar. Kalinjar, Asubian, you. But their independence is guaranteed by Bengal. So, get a little bit of extra stuff there. This is ridiculous. This is completely ridiculous. To just chase this army all over the world. I'm going to Canada. So we're going to go here. The goal here is to cut them off. Looks like they just went to Italy. They're going to Kalpi now, because of course they're just freaking entering another country. Why wouldn't they be able to just enter another? They have 3 mobility. We are never going to catch these freaking people. We're never going to be in the same damn location. This is ridiculous. Oh, good. Finally. They got caught. Okay, so now that we've caught them, we can completely annex them. That gives us 21 aggressive expansion. We cannot, apparently. Yes, we can. All right. So we can just annex them now. Oh, I forgot that they had an ally over here as well. That would explain why I was having difficulty annexing them, I guess. So we're going to annex them, and we will feed their provinces to Garjat. So, let's see here. Garjat, 0%. That's what I like to see. We're going to grant them Sambalpur. We're going to grant them Sonpur. We're going to grant them Patna. Okay, so they are now substantially larger. The total size of all of our vassals is getting progressively a little bit larger. I am sitting on a place with a supply limit of 14, like a damn noob. And we have Kalahandi, which has now grown to include this. So Kalahandi actually took this. And Ratanpur is allied with Chanda, Jharkhand, and Kalahandi. Kalahandi is allied with Jharkhand. So what I might want to do is I might want to make the declaration. I'm going to wait for these guys to get back. We can set... I do not have a claim on Chanda. So since I don't have any claims on Chanda, I don't need to set them as a co-belligerent, which means that we're going to be fighting Ratanpur, Kalahandi, Chanda, and Jharkhand. And that's our basic there. You are idle because I literally don't have a vassal for you to play with. That's really sad. Do we have a... Nope. Let's do that first. And Garjat is trapped over there. Because reasons. I don't know why they are somehow trapped over there. That's very strange. So Chanda is offering us an alliance. Do we want to vassalize them? I don't think I do. Let's take a look at our mission tree and see how that's going along. So in order to get this achievement, in order to get this mission done, we need to take over all of this stuff. We're taking all of this in the next war, and then we have a little bit to steal off of Bengal, and then we have to eat Jharkhand. Once we've done that, we get permanent claims on Berar and somewhere else. So it looks like once we've taken control of all of this, we'll get claims on the Bamanis. Once we've conquered Andhra, that gives us the option to conquer up here, it looks like. That's interesting. And then once we've conquer the deck. So Andra also gives us this though. So Andra is going to give us a lot of claims. So that's going to give us claims throughout Vijayanagara as well as throughout the other places. So what that means for me is that I don't think there's any reason why I would want to do Humiliate Rival on them anymore. There's just no utility in it. So we're going to go ahead and do this and this. And that gives us a little bit more income, and that's great. So you are a rank 3 military, you are a rank 4 military. So what that means is we're going to have to try to wipe who first? These guys are in jungle, these guys are in grasslands. So we're going to just jump into the grasslands and call it a day. Alliance offer from Chanda. Do we want to diplo-vassalize Chanda? I don't think so. Because we might want to make a Tamil vassal along the way. I'm not sure if we're going to want to core all of this. But we might actually want to just core it all ourselves for now. We're not very large, and admin power isn't going to be that relevant for quite a while. It's perfectly fine for us to stockpile stuff. So I think that that's probably in our best interest. We're just going to take everything ourselves. We're not going to worry about vassals for a while. So it looks like Andhra has just expanded themselves. They've taken control of this, and that's useful for them. Good on you, friend. You have a 1-4 general. Oh, I don't like that. I guess I still have the advantage in terms of generals. But yeah, we want to basically beat these guys. Oh, Kalahandi will not join. Wait, and they lost their alliance with Jharkhand? What? Oh, friend. Oh, friend. Well then, that makes my life a lot easier. So, Chanda is... that's great. Okay, so we're going to take Raipur. Life becomes very easy very quickly, apparently. So these guys are going to get wiped, and then... Oh, look. Vishnupur is showing up. Are we ever going to see our other people again? Probably not, but that's fine. Oh, wow, look at that. There they are. I guess because I declared war while they were in a thing. That's useful. Okay, so we are now going to say, hey, sup? You willing to peace out? No? Okay, well, I guess we're just going to have to be sad then. Nope, wrong one. Okay. At some point, I'm going to get that motion down nice in practice, but today is not that day. This army is just going to pop back over, and we will move on. Let's see. Protect trade, I think. I don't know who Bundle Khand is, but I don't really care. Now, how are we doing with Kalahandi? Kalahandi, you are allied with Jharkhand exclusively, which is interesting. Is Jharkhand still guaranteed? They are. So, what does that mean for me? Bengal is sitting on a truce with us for a substantial period of time, but it's not that long. It's about a 5-year truce. So I think what I might want to do here, because of the fact that I don't really want to go after anybody that's allied to Jharkhand until I have the ability to call Jharkhand in as a co-belligerent, taking control of these two provinces isn't going to be that valuable for me that I would want to fight them and Jharkhand right this particular second with 0 manpower. So what we're going to do is we're going to move these guys to Cuttack. And we are going to... I think I can do this now, even. I don't think I need to wait until the end of the war. So we are going to actually drop our army maintenance to 0. There's no enemy troops, right? There are no enemy troops. I don't have to worry about an enemy army coming at me. The vassal swarm will handle this aspect. So I think this is safe. Question mark? Maybe. It's safe-ish. That's what I'm going to say. This is a safe-ish decision. It gives me the ability to recover my finances a little bit, and it should be all fine. We still don't actually have, like, we haven't started breaking even on finances yet, which I find very funny considering that, like, we've already been developing and doing all sorts of random stuff. And, hey, we can now get a colonist. Let's do that now. So the question is, do we actually have anywhere that we can colonize? And the answer is, I don't actually know. This is a 200... Yeah, this should be too far away, I think. Because I think I have a total colonial distance that's lower than that. And we do not have the thing. So since we don't have somebody that can give us the 20%, I'm not actually going to worry about the colonists yet. We will set this as native coexistence for now. We have a government reform, Yahoo. Empower the Polygars. Hey, development cost. I forgot that this existed. I should have waited before I started developing Kutuk. I am a dumb. Just a dumb, generally. And let's see, we've got a third of what we need. And how are we doing over here? We've got 2 income right now. Not too bad. I mean, not great considering that we have our armies sitting at 0 maintenance. But not too bad. Bengal is sitting with a rank 4 military. They're allied with Tirhut and Delhi. Delhi is pretty far away, but they can get there because they can go through Jaunpur. Do I want to actually get some allies? Allies make a degree of sense. Pegu is too big to vassalize. The problem is that I would prefer generally to ally someone. Oh. You know what? I should take one of the provinces in Madre first when I get into war with Vishnadagar. Like, take all the provinces that aren't in Madre, and then take one of the provinces that's part of Madre. And that should be my thinger there, I think. Do I want to piece you out? I don't want to set you as a vassal, right? Yeah, I don't need you as a vassal. If I needed you as a vassal, then I would have done it diplomatically. Transfer trade power, war reps, and all your money. Give it to me. Give me all your money. All your wealth is belong to me. And this army is just going over here to contribute to this, and it isn't going to matter because we don't need it. Okay, so we're going to fully annex you. Yay for fully annexing. This is another 21 aggressive expansion. And now we can give all of these provinces to our vassal. So Garjat still is sitting at 0, so there's no problem here. We can grant them Raipur, grant them Kanker, and grant them Ratanpur. It's amazing how big they are considering how low their actual total development is. So it looks like their provinces have 0 thinger. And in 6 years we can get the points again. So, how are we doing here? We're a third of the way there. And that's fine. We have 1 colonist available. Interestingly enough, I don't know how long this alliance with Vigianaga is going to last. It's kind of a weird alliance because Andhra has reasons to dislike their ally, and Vigianaga itself has like permanent claims on them as well. So they both have reason to dislike each other, and yet they are still allied with each other. Let's see. So Bishnupur is probably going to be given some provinces over here at some point, right? Alliance offer from Pegu. Do I want to be allied with Pegu? No, I want Pegu to get eaten by Ayutthaya, probably. Ayutthaya is getting too big, though. I don't care. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm only going to ally with people that I might annex later. Oh, how much of this territory is... No, almost all this is Pegu cores. So I want Pegu to get eaten just so that I can release them later, because I'm a terrible, terrible human being. And we've got a decent amount of income here. So, how is the situation? You have your independence guaranteed by Bengal still. You are still allied with Jharkhand. Chanda is a non-issue because I can't do anything with them yet. So, you are still allied with Vijayanagara. But why, though? Why would you do such a thing? And we can pump again. Now, the reason that I'm not pumping more over here is, actually, I do need to know how much this is going to take, because I want to use the manpower for the last bit of it. So, there should be a calculator that I can look at online for this. So, force institution calculator. Okay. This is a cost calculator. Is this what I'm looking for? It might be. These things are very useful because it tells you what the final development is going to be. We started, I think, at 14 development, which means that we're going to end at 38. So we might end at 37, but I think we're going to end up at 38. So since we're going to end up with it at 38, that means that we need how much more? This is, by the way, a great capital for this because of the fact that you can... you start out with such high admin and Diplo. Anyway, base tax and production. So we've got 19, which means that we can add another 12, which means that we're at exactly the right amount to just pump exclusively from military power now. So we're just going to do exclusively military power, and that should be great. Perfect. So we have an alliance offer from Kalahandi. Interestingly enough, they're like, you want to be friends, right? Friendly friends? The answer to which is, no, sorry, you're too easy to annex. I'm just going to have to... I don't have any choice in the matter. I just got to annex you. And what that means is that since we're not going to be spending any more admin power, we are going to start spending admin power on other things. We need to start basically keeping our admin power from capping by conquering people, which is the best way to prevent your your power from capping. So we have 4 years before we can go after Bengal, and since we have 4 years before we can go after Bengal, it's just too bad that Bengal has given these guys that go-ahead, because these provinces, this is only 7 development. It's not really worth it to take those. Just and get the thinger going here, or truce with these guys. So Bengal has Delhi and Tirhut as rival, as people, as allies. Tirhut is going to be not that big of a problem. Delhi is more of a problem. But I should be able to handle both of them. Well, maybe. Let's take a look actually at Bengal. How strong is Bengal now? Bengal now has an army the size of my army, and they have all of their manpower available to them. That's not an optimal situation for me to be in. So another alternative, and this might be a better alternative, is, do I want to get into... I actually do. I have a few years to get before I can get into a thing with them. But the key is that it's better for me if I weaken them now than if I try to fight them at full strength later. At least I think that is the case. So what we're going to do is we're not going to declare war yet because we have to bring these guys over here. And my hope is that they will make the decision that they made last time, which is that they do not want to get involved over here. If they make that decision again, then we'll be in good shape. And they are my rival, so I'll be able to use Humiliate Rival on them. So do we immediately need to go... we have other expansion opportunities, actually. Since we have the ability to expand into the Bamanis... in 7 years, we have the ability to expand here. We don't necessarily need to be able to expand over here. It would be preferable to be able to do so quickly, but I guess I should probably actually get my army working before we do this. So let's pop over here again to my own territory. Let's declare a war with no army maintenance. That seems like a good strategy. Okay, we're going to wait a couple of months for this to go down. Do we want to declare a war against Bengal when we have no manpower? Is that really a good idea? Kalahandi has rank 4 military now. I don't want to wait, but I feel like waiting might be a better idea. I don't know how these two have not been, like, dicking around with each other. How on earth is Vijayanagara not fighting against the Bamanis? They're not fighting them at all. Why? I don't understand it. I'm confused about what's going on with these guys just chilling down here doing nothing. They have cores of yours. Go take them. Take their cores. Or take your cores. Do it. Alright, what are we going to do over here? You guys need to actually start protecting trade again. That was me. And also, you should have the person in charge. Do I need all these cogs? I could potentially sell some of these cogs. I kind of need them just as bodies, though. Is there anyone that I want to declare war on in the immediate future? Probably not. They've been very... I don't like how stable these guys are right now. It's ridiculous. I need y'all to be doing your business, and you're not doing it, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So we got colonial range plus 50%. We can't fabricate any claims down here or anything. Can I send a colonist here? I could actually send a colonist here if I wanted. What is the state that this is a part of? Is it part of anything? Yes. This is the Maldives. Indian Ocean Islands. Is this Indian Ocean Islands? This is Indian Ocean Islands. So this is the same state as the Maldives. And the Maldives is the same state as this place down here. Do I want to send somebody here? This gives me the ability to make claims on people elsewhere, so I think we actually will just send someone here for now. We're going to get better opportunities to get into Africa soon, but it's not that soon, so we might as well. No, 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 no. What am I thinking? No, come back. Come back. I can't afford you. I can't afford you at all. Let's see. Do we want admin? No, we want diplomats. Let's do diplomats. I love me some diplomat power. So, we have 16,000 troops. Plus, so we have 23,000 total troops. We have 2,200 stuff here. Bengal actually has the weaker... Oh, they're now allied with Lumbuwan. Okay, yeah, you know what? This is going to have to be a thing. We're going to do it. So we have a mediocre general there. We are going to declare war on Jharkhand, and we're going to get into this fight with Bengal, because that will be worth it. We'll be able to expand through here some more. How's our A? Our aggressive expansion is pretty sizable right now, with the people that are of the same cultural group. But even just outside of the cultural group, with the same religion, places like the Bamanis, even there you don't actually have any meaningful aggressive expansion, which means that let's see, we have a claim on Surguja, which our vassal does, which means, interestingly enough, we do not have one on Surguja. So we'll give this to Thinger. If we declare war for our vassals' claims, sorry, I'm not actually in the chat right now. There we go. I'm in the chat again. If we declare for our vassals' claims, we can also take our own claims. If we declare for our claims, we cannot use vassal claims. So that's an important element to remember. So taking this is good. Yes, question mark, maybe, we'll see. Okay, so we're going to wipe them first. And we've got a little bit more template power, which is great. Now we are going to do the normal thing that we always do, which is, because these guys have their armies very far away. Oh, shit. I did not bring my fleet out. Bring the fleet out. Okay. So, you guys, I'm just going to chill here for now. It's going to be a while before I directly attack Bengal anyway. Okay, you guys are going to... I forgot to... Whoops. I keep doing this. Boom. 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 Okay. So we're now going to go over here. And you are still rank 4, right? Yes. You are not supposed to be attachable, but okay. Okay, so these guys are probably going to cause problems for me if I let them, so we're not going to let them. We're just going to leave these armies here for now, and we are going to move you like this. And we need to get into Kalahandi, and we have a general for that. Oh, right, Kalinjar does exist. They are a people. They are a people. And what am I going to do? Do we want to... Do we actually need to fully annex you in this war? This is actually a pretty big war, now that I think about it. All these little, baby nations really add up. Do we want to wait on this to tick? Supply limit of 18, so we should just move everybody into here. Unfortunately, these guys siege down one of our provinces instead of going after our vassal like they normally do. Need you to go after my vassals' provinces so that I can not have to worry about you as much. So who are you, and who are you at war with? Idar is at war with... Blah, blah, blah. You are only at war with me, which is fine. Looks like they are consolidating their entire army to here. It's not optimal for me. I'm actually going to move these guys here. This is jungle, but there's no river crossing or anything like that for me to use. I have a lot of troops. Can I white peace? There's no way I'm going to get a white peace with Bengal. I need to get a lot of war score to get them. Like, I need to take multiple forts before I'd be able to white peace them, I think. This is a bad place to be standing. We're going to split. Oof, that sucks. Okay, once we take this first fort, we can look into taking out some of these armies. Unfortunately, I think I might have overextended here, though. I want to tick this. Supply limit of 18, so we can actually go up here. Okay, the Siege of Jharkhand is over. That's great. So, you have a reasonably crappy general. But you also have a reasonably good general. This is the problem with all these multi-nation extravaganzas, is that there's generally someone decent in the pack. Do I want to dive this army? The fact that we have to deal with Kalinjar really sucks, because Kalinjar has that really good general. Weak nation, good general. So I'm just going to pop over to here. Looks like we can actually get a good dive here. We're going to pop to Balasore. And these guys are going to lock in going away. So what we want to do is wait for these guys to lock in going to Jharkhand. Once they've locked in going to Jharkhand, we can dive these guys in Kurda. They now have a rank 5 military, the bastards. Locked in yet? Now you're locked in. We would prefer for all these guys to arrive the same day. One of these guys is going to arrive a day later. So we're going to arrive here on the 25th and the 26th. So this is probably fine. And they have no leader here either for right now. So we are on the defense. They have no leader. Well, they now have a leader. But very decisive victory there. And we can now just keep moving. There's nobody to stop us from doing this, really. Because we're going to be attacking, right? And that's a problem if these guys show up. But they're not going to, so we don't have to worry about it. So you guys are going to arrive on the 29th. We are going to arrive some other time, probably. We have colonial ventures and overseas exploration or whatever. Infantry what was that? Was that infantry combat ability? Oh, we have a lot of infantry combat ability in this army. Holy shit. Oh, no, that's not good at all. Wait, what? We're going to arrive on the 29th. Bishnapur, don't... No. Okay, we have to slow them down. Okay, we should be fine now. We don't want to lock into getting into their general. That would be very silly of us. Okay. Okay, this army is unfortunately suffering some significant attrition. But we should be able to land here. They have a sizable army, unfortunately, but we do have the better general, even after this happens. And we have the terrain advantage. Okay, so we've now fought a lot of fights, and we have basically gotten their armies away from us. So what we want is to do something fun. Do we want to try to siege down? Okay. So before anything else, we need to wait for this to trigger. We're going to do the same business that we always do, which is forget which thing we're doing. We're going to take this army, which has everybody attached to it. We're going to take this army. We're going to prevent anyone from attaching to it. And these guys are going to lock into here eventually, probably. And when they do, we're going to go after them. For right now, do I want to send these guys to here, which has a level 3 fort, in order to try and take that nation out of the war? Or would I prefer to do something a little different? Let's take a look at what this looks like now. We've got very little in our favor over there. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. I think what we're going to do is we're going to just take Kalahandi now. No, we're actually going to finish carpet sieging you first. So you are going here. You are going to wait until these guys are halfway there. And then you are going to do your business. Because for whatever reason, they're going straight into my zone of control. And they are not canceling the movement. So do we need that? We do not. We're going to just take the prestige. Prestige isn't like a huge deal, but I don't really need any spy network stuff right now. You are a rank 4 military, which is not optimal for me to be attacking into. Just going to move like this. And there we go. So we're going to pop over to here. And oh no! Kalahandi is being attacked by the Bamanis. I don't like that at all. Shit. Well, I should have sieged them down faster. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I should have sieged them down faster. So Kalahandi, can I piece you out? No. Will I be able to piece you out once they are sitting on your provinces? Probably. Do I also want to... I see a huge amount of troops all the way over here. I'm going to just pop into Kalinjar and see if I can... Oh, wait, I can't because it's a rank 3 fort. Okay, we're going to send these guys down here. Kalinjar is not going to be easy to piece out. It's easier to piece out nations when they have more other stuff. So... Is anyone... So no one's helping Kalahandi right now. Poor Kalahandi. Okay, so we're going to fully carpet siege this all back for ourselves. Hey, Next Grotto. How's it going? We are getting the murder going. That is 7,000 troops, so we should probably do something about that. And we're going to leave this for now. And we're hopefully going to finish this siege before they try to kill us. This is probably really dumb of me. How long until this ticks? That's 6 days. This is 6 days worth? No, we're moving. We're not waiting 6 days. These guys are going to crush us. Okay. So these guys are now sieging Jharkhand again, which is great for us because every time they go into Jharkhand, we can just pile in there and sort of snipe them at our leisure. Okay, who is going there? Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no. Shit. I tried to pause and I actually unpaused instead, which is a huge frickin' problem in this game where the pause button is the same as the unpause button. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. But on the plus side, we are on the defensive here. And it looks like they are not going to send in more troops to help. So we should be able to win the fight. That was way scarier than it had to be. So these guys are all just chilling here. And what are we going to do here? We now have 3,000 men to recover. And what do we want to do now? I think that what we want to do is we actually want to just go here. Can we arrive here before they do? No, but can we get them to not go? Also no. Fine, we're just going to go around. I do not want to be attacking into their army. I want their army attacking into mine. So these guys are heading to there. We're going to wait for them to leave and then get over here. It takes so damn long. Okay. Oh, this is, I should have paid more attention. This was for this army here, this one tiny troop. This is not a problem. All right. So we are now going to dive these guys, I think. Do we want it to do that? No. We actually do not want to do that. So give me a second to figure out what I want to do here. These guys are now heading, ooh, they're heading to here. That's not great. Are they going to stay? No. No, they are not. Ooh, nice. So Bengal now has revolts. That's always useful. Can I piece Kalahandi out? Because the Kalahandi, there's nothing I'm going to do to them. They're just going to get annexed by the Bamanis. Let's see. We have... Okay, once these guys lock in going away, maybe we want to do it. Ooh, that's not great. That's a lot of troops. They are at half morale, though. If I go, this is the 20th, we will arrive on the 24th. So, okay, I'm happy to do this. And it looks like they are going to try to retreat and not succeed. And it looks to me like this is just going to be free murder of the Kalahandi army. Kalahandi army is gone. Can we now piece Kalahandi out? No. But we won't ever have to worry about their army again because they cannot come back. So this is jungle. We will arrive on the 12th. They will arrive on the 7th, so we're not going to go in there. This is jungle as well. We will not have a crossing penalty. They will arrive on the 16th. We will arrive on the 21st. And all of the other troops are moving away from them. I think we're going to do it. They don't have a general, so... Oh, these guys are coming toward them. I'm an idiot. Can we defend? Can we defend? Nope. We're on the offensive still. That's bad. We do have a very small army to deal with there on the plus side, but that is still much more of a meat grinder than we want this to be. So... Kalinjar should hopefully start experiencing some significant penalties soon. But yeah, I should probably not have done this. This was way, way too expensive to be worth it. So we're going to drop in here and take this army out. These guys are too far away to help. And that's done. These guys are now going to Ratampur again. So we are going to... Can we get there first? No. They're not actually going to go to Ratampur anyway. Once we've taken this, we can eliminate their ability to keep growing. Do we want... Actually... I think we're going to wait for this siege to go. I mean, assuming that that siege goes anytime soon. And we're actually getting quite a lot of war score now. This is potentially going to cause a coalition of the nation that will not exist after the war is over, so that's fine. And how long do we have before they're going to be willing to accept this kind of demand? We can get here on the 25th. These guys will... Okay, so we'll actually land on these guys here. And that's just one troop. We can now go to Kanker. These guys are going to Jaipur. We can now peace out Kalahandi, almost certainly. We don't have any war score against them, but we can peace out against them. So Kalahandi is just going to not be part of us. They're just going to get annexed by the Bamanis. And let's see here. There's separatists from them. These guys are now black flagged, which means that I don't have to worry about them until they get to my stuff. I'm suffering way too much attrition right now, probably. Supply limits over here are so terrible until later in the game. Alright, so with Kalahandi out of the war, you can now say, hey, how's it going? So, you, Kalinjar, how's your appeal? They have a decent army. Not in terms of size, but in terms of quality. They have a decent quality army. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over here. And I can't peace out Bengal right now, can I? I'm very close to being able to peace out Bengal. This is farmland. We do have a crossing penalty, but that's okay. I'm going to go sit on their capital with just a couple of troops. Because I'm not going to be trying to siege down that whole fort. It looks like we stack wiped them. So if we stack wiped them, that means if we can get control of their capital, we might be able to pull them out of the war completely. Okay, so we managed to trick them into stopping their movement, which means that we can now dive the Bengal army and start just mowing through them because they are now on the offensive and getting stack wiped. Yes, please. So, I'm not going to be accumulating any war score against Bengal during this war because I'm not planning on doing anything that would give me war score. We're going to go ahead and peace out Kalinjar. Get a nice white piece with them. And we can do a couple of things here. So the first is we can try to just peace out. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that yet. The other thing that we can do is we could try weakening them substantially. If we try to weaken them substantially, because we're currently just in a war against exclusively Bengal, right? So Bengal has 11,000 troops. They have 10,000 manpower. So in terms of like ability to recover, they're actually in a very good position to come back in this war. In a way that the other nations simply are not. So what we're going to do first is we're going to first come over here and we're going to chase down this army and we are going to wipe it out. I'm going to split this army in half because there's no reason to send all of my troops up there. These guys are now going to pop over here and they're going to just sit in their capital. As soon as they start sitting in their capital, I should be able to get a white piece with Bengal. But I don't necessarily want a white piece with Bengal because I want to take some money from them. And I should, hopefully, be able to. I think I can get Bengal to give me probably a full war score's worth of money. Probably. You guys are actually in trouble because as soon as these guys come out, they're going to be wrecking your shit. Can I repair damaged ships and still retain this? Looks like I can. So, nope, I cannot. So, we unfortunately are now in a fight that we did not want to be in. And they got a 9. I don't like that. We got an 8 here. 8 versus 5. How is our damage going? We do not have anywhere near enough cannons. We do not have anywhere near enough cannons for this. Okay. We have to pull back. And that actually is a problem for us. I was concerned about this. This siege is going to eventually tick, and then we'd have to fight them. So I was hoping that I'd be able to prevent having to fight them in the first place, but it did not actually play out. So risks were taken, and they did not pay off, which is just the name of the game. So it looks like, oh, the reason they came out was actually because this ticked. So that's interesting. So the Bengali peasants we do not want to be adjacent to, so because they might just decide to move toward me. So how much war score do we have against you? We have 0% war score. We do have the ability to piece them out. We are not going to. So we're going to try our best to weaken Bengal here. And I think we can do it pretty effectively. We are obviously hurting our own economy in the process. I forgot to actually do this shit. So we're obviously hurting our own economy while we're doing this, but the key is that in terms of like major enemies nearby, we have Andhra, who will hopefully not be bringing Vijayanagar into play, and then we have the Bamanis. And both of those, I'm kind of hoping I can I need to be able to pit the Bamanis and Vijayanagar against each other. If I can't do that, then this is actually a bad idea. I don't want to be here, I don't think. This is not going to end well. Oh, look at that. They had an army all the way over there. So is that their whole army, basically? Huh, so almost their entire army was wandering around over here somewhere. For no apparent reason. Okay, so we have just been subsidized by these guys. Not too bad. Will you please declare war on your rivals? I'm very sad. I'm very disappointed with you. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And this is down to 0. Unfortunately, we are probably going to have to fight their peasants. I don't want to have to fight their peasants for them. If these guys come to me, then I'm probably going to have to just fight their peasants for them, and I don't want to do that. So hopefully they don't walk to Gouda next, but they can't go anywhere else, I don't think, so they're going to go to Gouda next. Unless they go back to retake their existing holding. But maybe this will tick fast enough that they won't come after me anyway. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could. It's a hypothetical possibility. Is it worth it to stay here? It is. It's worth it to stay here and fight off their peasants, even if it means that I have to be sad. Oh, nice. Fortunately, we still haven't ticked this. But we're ticking it pretty fast, so what I'd really like the best... Please tick, please tick, please tick, please tick. I need you to tick before they come. Yes! Okay, so we are still going to have to fight them, but they are going to be the attackers instead of the defenders. And what I can do, actually, if I can get it fast enough... Nope. Fortunately, they died too quickly for me to be able to do what I want. So what we're going to do here, because I think that this is a good idea, we are actually going to take this whole army, and we are going to dive the Bengal army here. Because... do we want to do that? This is grassland. That's a very silly thing to do. There's no need for that. Okay, fine. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to humiliate them. Except we're not, because they don't want to be humiliated, apparently. So do I want to dive these guys in the farmlands? I'm the attacker. They might break the siege for this. It looks like they are breaking the siege for this. I'm the attacker, and there's no penalties or anything associated with that. So it looks like we can basically just... because the peasant armies we don't have to deal with anymore. And we now have... We have 94% war score, so... This was not necessarily a great plan. But it's fine. This will give us the opportunity to just be super passive for a while we let nature take its course. So we're going to wait here. We're going to siege down a few more of their provinces. We are going to peace out with Bengal once we can get everything we want. So we're going to humiliate them. We also want to take as much money as we can from them and do war reparations. This is like a 75% war score victory. It's a little crazy. Do we want to try that? Or do we want to just go for the war reps? I think I might just want to go for something smaller. It'd be very nice to take all that money from them, but I guess also doing that is going to give me a shit ton of inflation. Do I want to do the humiliate, or would I rather do like steer trade or something? I guess it doesn't matter because I can't do both. I can't do steer trade. So this army has like no leader functionally. So what we can actually do is we can just keep accumulating war score here. Okay, so I wonder if we can actually push them away. Yeah, we can. We can still push them away even with this tiny army. So all we have to do is keep continuously moving back and forth. This is funny, actually. Just going back and forth to keep them from locking in a given direction. Oh, this is great. So they are slowly like recouping their stuff here. So at a certain point, this is going to stop working, and they're going to actually just approach anyway. Because as they get more and more troops, eventually they're going to say, wait a second. What the hell are they going to do to us? We have so many troops. How's our war score now with Bengal? So we now have the ability to do this if we wanted. So this is the war reparations variant. And our war score is 50. So we actually, because we got so much war score there, I'm going to try to just keep this up. Are they actually going to... Okay. Let's see. I don't think we need the salt tax. It's fine. But at some point, they have to realize that it's crazy for them to stop this, right? Like, at some point, this is going to stop working. It has to stop working eventually, right? It's never going to stop working. This is hilarious. Oh man, my life is so funny. Okay, it looks like it has finally stopped working, but it stopped working after I've already taken like all their provinces. So let's see how much we need to drop this by. So we can get 190 along with a humiliate and war reps for this. Let's do this. Okay, we're piecing out Bengal. We got a pretty decent amount of money. We can use that money to start repaying. I have enough to repay every loan that I have taken in the entire game. Yes. Okay. So, that's great. And now we can wait 4 days, and then we just piece out Jharkhand by annexing them. And so we're going to annex you, and we are in fact going to keep it. This will give us 16 aggressive expansion, and we can now core everything. The war exhaustion is increasing the cost of coring it. That's okay though. Also, speaking of thingers, let's get this going. Okay, so we have successfully fought a battle to weaken and to tangibly weaken Bengal. They currently have peasants sitting on this fort, which means that they are going to have more damage done there. Let's take a look at armies. So Bengal now has only 3,000 manpower. They actually have a pretty decent sized army, but how's their economy doing? Bengal now has 0.7% inflation, so that's, you know, several loans that we have given them there, and we should be in good shape to just chill for a while. We need to let our war exhaustion calm back down, and we need to core our territory and wait. The goal right now is to basically get a sufficiently large economy that we can actually do what we want to do here, which is start settling. So we want to be able to start settling. We also need, and we can do that now. We can actually immediately start that. So we've gotten this up to the point where we have all of the things that we immediately need. And so the time has come. This is going so fast. The fact that we did two show strength cast displays is just very valuable. Okay, we're gonna sign you, and we are going to start protecting trade in Bengal. But yeah, we got the humiliate off. I might have been better off. Oh, my heir is so. Wait, what? I just got 2 new heirs? I'm so confused about what just happened there. I just got some really cool looking heir, didn't I? And then this guy showed up instead? Like, I got 2 different heirs at the same time, right? What the hell just happened there? Well, I'm disinheriting the heir. We'll not have an heir for a while. It's fine. Okay, anybody else that... It looks like the Bamanis are just sort of expanding outward right now. And how are we doing with regards to our next mission? So we have a couple of provinces to take from the Bamanis, and we have a single province to take from Bengal. It might have been worth it. This is a really weak province. I should have just taken this from Bengal, well, because it wouldn't have cost me that much to do so. That's okay though. Let's see here. Next thing on the agenda is I need to get half of these guys split off, because we now have 50 Diplo power again, and these guys are going to get an explorer to go figure out what we can actually get. So we're going to explore the West Indian Ocean and see if we can get this going. So can we reach here now? I don't think we can. And we just got a new ruler. We have the Peasants' War. And let's see here. Some random dude took over who was terrible. That's not optimal. And our stability is trash. Can I boost this? We're gonna boost this twice, and that's gonna get the peasant war done, right? Is it not? How does this get away? Okay, so I have to wait until manpower is 50%. That's... Yeah, this wasn't a pretender, though. Yeah. So, like, I could understand how something weird would happen when pretenders are involved. But, like, I got this really good air, and then I get this really shitty air immediately after. So, how am I going to handle this situation? Because this is a problem. I could try to pump my legitimacy. And how fast is this ticking? 1.5%. Just from the fact that I have less than 50. So this is going to take forever. So what we're going to do is we're going to consolidate our regiments right now. And we're going to have to rebuild those regiments. And what that will allow us to do is to basically just get ourselves back up to our manpower cap faster. We need 9,000 troops. We're only gaining 139 per month, which is not a lot. So, this is too far away by 6. This is exactly in range. So we're going to send someone here, and that gives us the first thing that we needed. And let's see here. So now we can keep exploring. We're going to explore the rest of the West Indian Ocean. And this is a significant problem. How are we going to handle this peasant war problem? I don't know where I'm going to get my legitimacy from. Legitimacy is increasing by 1 per year. It's increasing by 1.5 per month. So this is definitely going to be going nowhere near as fast. So strength in government is 100, and that gives me how much legitimacy? It gives me 10, I think. So if I tick this twice, I think that'll do it. Okay, we're going to do that. Bishnapur wants a marriage. Sounds great. Do we set this? Okay, so we now have enough money to actually fund a thing. We don't have enough money by a lot, but we do technically have the money for it. This is actually close enough that it's not that much further. That's pretty cool. All right, do we want to finish up this first? Or do we want to finish... Typically, I finish up the rest of the idea group first, just to reduce the amount of stuff that I have going there. That's really great that we just got some stability for free. So how much are we getting? God, our ruler is so terrible now. This is the problem with starting out with... Actually, that guy lived for a long time. That was 20... Hey, 20 years! That sounds like an important milestone, doesn't it? So we should be able to do this soon. We're not going to be able to do it yet. We'll be able to do it in like a month or two. So that's excellent. And once we finish expansion, we can just claim over here willy-nilly. But for right now, we're going to have to do these manually. We're just going to have to get this province, and then we can start forming claims over here. So how much of this is going to be us expanding here, and how much of it is going to be us expanding in the next area? So peasant war is going up by a considerable amount. We're going to probably need 3 ticks here, aren't we? I don't remember what the start date is. There we go. Okay, so seeks guild support, loses us prestige. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. That gives us not as much as I would have expected. I was hoping to get that one higher. Oh, this is a thing. It's currently occupied by the Brahmins. So we're going to do with the Brahmins first, because they currently have something that I can give. I lose legitimacy. This is interesting. So this gives them 5. I have to do the thing, though, in order to get this. I have to seek Brahmin approval in order to get the extra admin. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna stick to Shakti. Shakti's awesome, and that gives us a pretty sizable chunk of admin power. Now we have the ability, if we want, and we do, to take this from the Brahmins, and that's gonna really piss them off. So we're gonna give this to the Vaishyas. This increases their influence very high, so that's going to be fun. And then we can demand diplomatic support from them. So now I've got 150 of that. Can promote the Rajput nobility? Sure, why not? And we can recruit Rajput things. I don't know what that is actually going to do for me. I can't demand military support for another 3 years, so I don't need to worry about that. This doesn't drop my legitimacy, does it? It actually reduces my yearly legitimacy, so I shouldn't have actually done that. That's fine. Let's see. I forgot that prestige translates into thinger. Do I have the ability to go over to the Brahmins and make a generous donation to just get them loyal again? They won't immediately become loyal, so it might not be worth it to bother. But that is a pretty good start. Let's see here. We need to wait a little bit longer before we can get the military power boost. Do we want to change up what we're focusing on? I don't think so. I think we're going to stick to Diplo for now. We're still getting 11 Diplo per month, so the most important thing is still going up at the rate at which we want it to. We currently have our colonist out. We are making a little bit of money, but not a lot. We just lost 5 legitimacy, so we actually need to do this 4 times now. The math of that might not have been quite optimal, now that I think about it. It's fine. We might have to deal with a huge amount of peasant rebels, because I'm a dummy. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't actually remember what happens when the Peasant War spawns, because I don't think I've had the Peasant War actually happen for a very long time. So, I mean, it increases national unrest by 5, and it increases your stability cost modifier by a ton as well. But that's not... Oh, can I get manpower from one of you people? I don't think I can, right? It doesn't look like I have the ability to get manpower correctly. So what does this do? This would make them lose loyalty and gain influence. So I'm going to click this button and see what happens. So what the hell do you do? So these have a 50% reduced reinforce cost. Interesting. I'm going to have to do some research into that. You'd think I would have done that before I started doing like world conquest attempts as India, but that would make way too much sense. Okay, nice. We just got 10 Diplo power. Wouldn't it be nice if our leader just died and his heir was actually legitimate? So every year we're going to get about 1,000 manpower. We're currently well behind the necessary trend. Oh, I'm an idiot. Do I want to pump this now? Yes, I do. We can now, if we want, pump our legitimacy. Do we want to pump our legitimacy right now? Or do we want to wait? Also, what's the next thing? Yearly legitimacy. So if we get 2 more of these, then we'll have the yearly legitimacy. I'm going to actually just do this. Let's get the innovativeness. I'll get the innovativeness as well as a reduction to Diplo costs moving forward. I don't need any more range. This should get me close enough to colonize any of these, and from there I can just annex all of Madagascar and start securing complete control of that trade area, and that will basically lock me in for what my goals are for the immediate future. So let's see here. How are we gonna do this? I don't want to pump my legitimacy if it's not going to actually get done in time. So I think I'm just going to stockpile my military power right now and not worry about it. We're going to stockpile military power so that I can hopefully stay afloat. I do not think that this has been an optimal opening for me so far, because I'm going to be spending a lot of time right now. But then again, I'm about to get to the point where I can get admin power rank 6 anyway. So it's not that big a deal. As long as I'm able to start being aggressive again soon, it doesn't matter that I'm currently being unaggressive. Do I want to start making money? No, because I can't make money and I can't drill. So we're fine. Everything is fine. What could possibly not be going fine? Why would you think it's not fine? It's all fine. So we're increasing by 0.95 per year. My innovativeness is somehow decreasing. I don't understand this at all. Why is my innovativeness decreasing? Who is more technologically advanced than us? This is maddening. I don't understand this at all. What neighbor? Show me one neighbor that has better technology than me in like any category. One. Show me. Because this happened to me in the last run too. So this is one neighbor. They don't have better technology. These assholes don't have better technology. So the say it's the Bamanis. Goddamn the Bamanis. Okay, so the Bamanis apparently have so much freaking money that they can just... Or not money, so much power at this point that they can do their business. Fine. So that means that I need to... I need to actually develop the next technology soon. Ooh. I like this. Do we want... I think I want the emphasis to be on both admin and Diplo. The actual ratio between the two of them isn't as important as making sure that we have as little stuff going on over there as possible. So, my heir is pretty good. Not god tier by any stretch of the imagination, but my heir is pretty good. And now we can figure out what we want to do. Why are the Bomanis and Vijayanagara not at war? I do not understand. I do not understand in the slightest. This is so confusing to me. You know, we're gonna trigger this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna trigger this. We're losing legitimacy. It's fine. It's fine. What that means is that we are now going to pump Kutak again, because I'm not going to be investing into legitimacy. We're just going to run into the peasant war. It's fine. What could possibly go wrong? This disaster is going to be disastrous. So we have 142 per month. If I get an event that gives me a bunch of manpower, I might actually be able to stop this, because it just needs to. My manpower just needs to reach half of my limit. So. Let's see. I'm going to explore all the ocean spaces first. You are close. Is there something I can do to get myself... I wish that I could just steal a bunch of troops from the nobles, but I can't do that. Can I... This gives me a national manpower modifier, which is vaguely useful, but not really what I want. I'd have to fire him again to get the benefit of that, really. So, it looks to me, because of how stable the Bamanis and Vijayanagara have been, like, I was actually expecting, because I've never seen this happen before. I've never seen the Bamanis and Vijayanagara not at war within the first, like, few years of the game. And I haven't done anything over here, so I have no idea why it is that they're not going to war with each other. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, Kalinjar has the piece over, so they're allied with Sirmur. There is actually unrest here. There's Bastari separatists that will spawn. I don't think we have any provinces. We do. Shit. Like that. Okay. So, unfortunately, what that means is that those rebels are going to be causing problems for me as well. I can make this estate. I can make this estate. This is a reasonably decent state. It's a total... Let's do it. And... It's so irritating that the Bamanis actually have a higher tick than us. So we need 2 more ticks of this. This is going to be about 200 some. Who was it? It's you, right? It was always you. Okay. The unrest here is 0 now, which means that we have a variety of options. How close are we to this? So this is at 64%. If we... That was really, really bad timing on that disaster. Or the person dying, that is. They died at exactly the point where it would cause the most possible damage to me. Because generally speaking, dealing with this isn't too much of a problem. But because I got that legitimacy, because I had just gotten rid of the heir, so I didn't actually have an heir. So it's just some random dude in charge. It has really bogged me down. Do I not even have the ability to make barracks? Oh, I need military rank 6. Huh. I didn't realize I needed rank 6 for that. So we're losing 0.1 per year in legitimacy right now. This is funny. Alright, so how's our unrest? I wonder what will happen with the peasant war, because I don't remember how you end it. 1st of April, 69. Let's see. Is there anything else we can do? We're literally just waiting to see if we get a event that gives us that stuff. Oh, hello. Tolerance of heretics. Nope. Oh, well, this is something to just do. Okay. So we get a bonus to our missionary strength as well as a bonus to other things. So Bengal is still in control of almost exclusively Hindu provinces. They haven't converted any of Bengal to the religion of Bengal. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to conquer a bunch of their territory. We're not going to be fighting any other Muslims anytime soon. Oh, we're no longer relevant to the interests of Vishnuyanagar, apparently. Will you please declare war on the Bahmanis? Oh my god. Do I have to ally you? Just for the sake of... What? What do I need to do to make you go after your obvious enemy? I have no words. I have no words. None. Let's see. Apparently getting 143 per month. So this is definitely going to take first. It's so sad because we're actually really close to being able to trigger it. And let's see. Where are you at? There you are. Life is sad when you're getting peasant rebels. And we need a tiny, tiny bit more. That's very sad. Are you the attacker? So it looks like Dung is actually attacking. Wow. Holy shit. That is interesting. So I guess I should probably put this person in charge. And do we need to do anything about this? There's not really a lot to do. So we can invest here if we want. This will give us more innovativeness. I think we're just going to do it. We get the yearly legitimacy, so that's useful. So at some point, we'll have legitimacy again, but it won't be until after it's too late for the thing. At any rate, right now, we're getting close to the point where we can start. This is per year, right? Ooh, ooh, ooh. More diplomats, yes. Give me all the diplo power. Why would I want someone other than diplo power? That wouldn't even make sense. Alright, so we've got large city, we got humiliate rival done. Anything else we'd get done anytime soon? Yeah. That's what I like to see. So we're now sitting on an almost full exploration group. We are currently colonizing our way to Africa. We don't need to wait on the full colonization over here. We might actually be able to colonize this. That would be really nice to colonize this instead, because this is a 551 province. This is really nice. So do we have any more exploration to do? No. So since we don't have any more exploration to do, we are going to take away this leader so that he doesn't have as much chance to die and send him to Bengal. Okay, so we're still losing money. Not for too much longer, though, hopefully. And what's the truce for? We only have a truce for 5 more years with Bengal, which is kind of interesting. So we have like 3 months, it looks like. Is there something that I could do that lowers my maximum manpower? Now that I think about it. That's recovery speed. Because if I can reduce my actual maximum manpower, then I can bypass this. Because if I can reduce it down to about 1600, then I'll have more than half of my thinger. So decisions that I can make that do something weird like that, right? No. You know what I could do? I could increase the autonomy. But that's not going to do it. The majority of my manpower is coming from this province. Yeah. Yeah, this is just going to tick. I don't remember what happens. I guess we'll find out. It will probably be fine. Question mark? Maybe. Just hopefully I don't need to get to like 3 stability or something stupid like that. Because if I need 3 stability, that'll be a problem. I also don't know how to end it. So... because I just don't remember these kinds of things. I could research, and I'm sure there's actually a solution that would allow me to prevent this from triggering. Maybe not right now, because it's been so late. So, lose 6 stability? Jesus Christ! It didn't tell me that was going to make me lose 6 stability, you filthy bastards. You damn liars. Oh my god. Okay, so I need to get to 1 stability. This is such bullshit. I cannot believe that they just trolled me like that. That was such a harsh troll. It did not tell me I was going to lose 6 stability. Thanks, UI. Thanks for nothing, assholes. Okay, so the UI did not tell me that, but that's fine. This peasant army has nothing. We will negotiate a solution. It's fine. Hopefully these guys will come help me. Please come help me. If these guys help me, then I'll be fine. Otherwise, I might be in trouble here because there are so many peasant rebels here. But I think we'll actually be okay because it looks to me like we're going to be able to take this back. Did we just end the peasant war? What? Okay, so we just lost all of our money, which is too bad, but... So, the disaster has not ended, though. So, we just need to get our stability up by 1 more. That's so crappy, though. I just lost so much. Like, that's such a huge amount to lose. Ick. I was not expecting it. It was going to drop my freaking stability by 6. Ouch. That was uncalled for. Again, I don't have a problem with the disaster doing that. I just have a problem with the fact that it didn't tell me the disaster was going to do that. It's like, okay, I'm going to lose some. I'm going to have national unrest. Going to have some other stuff. Okay, whatever. But then, oh, also, we're going to take your stability and minimize it. No, you have to tell me that. That's the most important thing that's going to happen as a result of this bullshit. Ugh. And then it makes it so that the stability cost is much higher. So it's like, yeah, this is really painful. Lose 15 legitimacy, huh? Kutak and Kalinga. Something or other. Is this gonna be? Let's do that. Did I finish this? I did not, right? No. Boom. Okay, so Renaissance is now present here. And what I'm looking for here, because I think that that's until the end of the Peasants' War is what that's saying. So, hypothetically speaking, if I do this... no, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this and have it play out well for me. Alright, I'll do this. I'll lose 25% to my maximum manpower. That's not a problem. I lose -1 to unrest, which is fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. And now, we're just waiting to get enough admin to do what we want to do. And because I had to waste all this admin, I have to switch my focus because all of a sudden all of a sudden I'm like at a severe lack of admin power. Oh my god, that's like so that's like 600. I just lost 600 admin power to the spawning of this. If I had realized it was going to cause that, it's actually tempting to restart the entire game off of that. That's an entire tech that I just lost because I didn't realize that this was going to drop my stability by 6. That's so painful. Let's see. I am legitimately tempted to restart. Because that's so bad. The funny thing is, if it was only like a couple of months later that ticked, I actually would have had my manpower recover in time, even without me taking any action to deal with it. Speaking of taking action, let's do that. Why do I have such a huge amount of money going in? Wait, legitimacy is 3. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. It's really tempting to restart after having like screwed myself there, because that's entirely my fault, right? If I had realized that I was going to lose 6 stability, there were things that I could have done. I just wasn't willing to spend the money, but then I'm having to spend the money anyway because I ended up in the disaster, and it was way worse than I anticipated. Oh, I gained stability for free. Perfect. Good. So we're now out of it again, but we're going to be permanently 600 admin behind where we were before, where we should be. On the plus side, it is admin, not Diplo, and admin is generally more useful than Diplo, but the Diplo points are really important for the very beginning here. It the timings for the early game you require to get certain amounts. Let's see here, but you don't really need that with the other thing. So why am I spending so much goddamn money right now? I don't understand why I'm losing so much money. Okay, so I guess what we're gonna do now, because we have to, is we have to drop our army maintenance before we go bankrupt. We're going to be continuously getting legitimacy every year, which is good, but that's going to take forever. That's not going to be done for a very long time. And we can abdicate eventually. Shortcut. So going after Bengal again is going to be rough because we've gone from being ahead in tech to being behind again. Let's take a look here. We only need 89 to embrace Renaissance. That's not very much. Do you want to take out 2 loans to embrace Renaissance right now? No, because I don't need it right now. I need it soon, but not right now. So we're going to wait until Renaissance is ready, until we're basically ready to start picking up these techs, and that's when we're going to embrace Renaissance. So we can purchase an ability with Splendor, and I'm going to go ahead and do this for now, because I'm probably going to have to be a lot more passive. Anyway, just to... I can't be passive, though. I actually need to be more aggressive to start recouping some of the losses that I have. Why are you still not at war with your frickin' blood enemies? I'm so annoyed right now with you. Bamanis, why do you exist? Alright, so... But this is, at the very least, this has been very informative. I've learned actually quite a lot on this playthrough, even if I decide to restart, which I very likely will, because I actually have to end pretty soon today, and unless I do something really remarkable in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I don't think I'm going to want to come back to this run, because I'll be like, I can do better than this. I know how this all works now. I can do better. And I will be aware of the possibility that the Bamanis are not going to go to war with Vijayanagar at all. Which is not something that I anticipated as a theoretical possibility, because you have cores. Like, I don't know why they're not attacking them. It doesn't make any sense to me. I guess... right now, there is, I guess, some justification for it, because the Bamanis have a good alliance chain-ish. But, like, when has that ever stopped the... I mean, the Bamanis were getting their butts kicked in the early game, and they still never jumped in on them. I don't know. It's very confusing to me that this has gone the way that it has. It feels so unnatural, but it probably is fine. So anyway, if I was going to continue through with this, I think basically the next thing that I would be wanting to do, because I'm not actually sure if I'm going to continue with this. But if I do continue with this, then the next thing to do would be to start taking all of the claims that I have from Bengal. I have quite a lot of claims on their provinces. I need to take this one, and I need to take the other ones that are down there. So that will be important. The other thing, because the other thing is that I actually got a pretty good run with the the initial ruler, he actually survived for like 20 years despite the fact that he was an active general. And that is, I wouldn't say uncommon, but it's far from a guarantee that you're going to be able to actually have your ruler as a general and still have things be okay for such a long time. I feel like that was good because the initial ruler that you have is so good. So what in terms of efficiency, I think that the war with Bengal that we had might not have been punitive enough to actually justify having done it. Let's see here, because I got these 3 provinces out of it, which I don't actually care about, and they have 0.8% inflation, but that's not terribly meaningful. So I don't think that I actually caused enough damage to their economy in that war to justify. I mean, obviously that war caused me a disaster, but beyond that, which again it shouldn't have, because I could have dealt with it if I'd realized how bad it was going to be. I mean, it's called a disaster, so it should have occurred to me that it was going to be worse than just what it was listed as there. Let's see here, though. In terms of the timing on things, it's 1472, and we're currently taking this. So we will finish this soon. Once we finish this, we can colonize Mahe. Once we've colonized Mahe, we can basically start declaring over in Africa to take control of some of this stuff. And that should allow us to do some good business. Is there anybody that I can release as a nation over here? I'm going to have to look at the nations that are over here later, because I don't remember who has what cores where. And let's see. All right, so I think that I'm actually going to end things here for now. So I have some stuff that I need to get done. And so we're going to end things now. This has been an okay, first attempt. And it's an okay enough first attempt that I could probably translate it into, a full run. But from a practical perspective, I'm looking at this deficit of admin power right now, where right now I should already have this technology, because I can just take a loan to embrace this. That's not a problem. But I should already have this admin technology and be working on other stuff. So I think I'm gonna have to pay attention to the fact that I do not want to land border with anyone but my own vassals, because if my own vassals are, I think, less likely to have really advanced technology. So having this land border is actually hurting my innovativeness by a considerable margin. And the solution to that is, of course, to... Okay, yeah, this makes no sense. I don't know why Vigianoga is not going in. That would have opened up so many opportunities for me if Vigianoga was actually doing what I would expect them to do. But you can see they still don't have... They haven't taken back their cores. They haven't taken back their cores from the Bahmanis, and I just don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. But at any rate, that is going to be it for today. So thank you for watching. It has been a pleasure stream for you today. And I hope to see you all again next time, when we shall hopefully not trigger a disaster early like a bunch of damn noobs.